Hello there, this is James and you're watching Tixee Live. And happy Monday, everybody. Now today, for the European session, obviously this is the European little broadcast, we've got a few things to go through, some interesting developments with oil, which we'll talk about and have a chat about, and some interesting questions about whether or not we've reached the bottom in the market. Sounds a bit rude, but it's not, trust me. But before we get into that, remember these little episodes are for educational purposes only, and in no way whatsoever should ever be taken as advice. I always suggest you do your own research, do your own due diligence, and of course, know the risks at hand before entering any trade. With that out the way, let's get cracking. So I've called this little this episode "Muscles in Brussels." So play on word there, obviously. But today and tomorrow, okay, there's a very special European summit being held in Brussels. And the main focus of this summit will be whether or not they can agree on further sanctions in relation to oil imports from Russia, in relation to, or obviously connected to the conflict in Ukraine. Currently, there is no agreement. They can't agree because obviously Europe is very reliant on oil from Russia and gas from Russia. So many countries in the EU are at the point where they can't agree on what to do because obviously they're struggling. And with higher oil prices, which we're all experiencing, they can't agree whether or not to do further sanctions in relation to this. So it'll be interesting to see over the next 2 days if they do come to some sort of agreement or some sort of form of unified approach, so to speak. So that obviously is having an impact on oil prices, which we'll have a quick look at the moment. Don't forget, on the 2nd of June as well, we have OPEC who are meeting. And the general consensus is that OPEC will carry on with what they agreed last year with relation to supply, despite the fact that the West are asking them to increase supply, which will help with the actual prices and the level where oil is at the moment. And if we have a quick look at it at the moment, because it is extremely bullish. It's currently trading, this is WTI, okay? It's currently trading at $115.40. Okay, this is on a 4-hour chart. $115.41. This is where it's currently trading at this very moment in time. As you can see, the RSI is slightly above the 70, showing that, you know, potentially we have maybe reached overbought levels. But with the supply issues, okay, with this summit, many people feel that, oil in general is still, got a very bullish momentum. If we have a quick look at Brent as well, Brent is currently trading $117.82. So again, the bulls are with the oil at the moment, understandably, due to these conditions. And don't forget as well, China is coming out of its lockdown period as well. So then again, there might be a big increase in demand. So oil is on the top foot here. So it'd be interesting to see if they do come to some arrangement or some agreement over the next 2 days. Is the EU, that is. It'd be interesting to see what OPEC decides to do on the 2nd of June, though I do feel that everybody knows they're going to basically keep to what they agreed last year. So anyway, yeah, that's what we have with oil. Oil is on the move. Have we reached the bottom? It sounds really rude, doesn't it? But it's not. Many are thinking now that we might actually have reached the bottom in the market, okay? Because don't forget, this year has been really tough on stocks and shares. You've had NASDAQ, which I've spoken about many, many times during these programs, is 25% down from its peak. S&P is 13% down from its peak. The Dow Jones is 10% down from its peak. But last week, as we ended the week, there was very much a bullish momentum in it. And both the S&P and the NASDAQ and the Dow performed pretty well. And we're going to have a quick look at them in a minute. But the reason for this is, as we discussed last week, yes, we had a very good result from Alibaba, who actually said they had a 9% increase in their quarterly profits. which gave the market a bit of a boost. But the other side of the coin on this as well is that the market is beginning to think that the Fed won't be so aggressive with its interest rate hikes. So this is why the market is thinking like this. And if we have a quick look at the S&P and the Nasdaq, how they performed last week. Give me a second. This is S&P. Yeah, I mean, it's currently, it was around 4,195 points. Okay, 4,195 points. And the Nasdaq is around 12,844 points. So yeah, both have come off their bottoms, so to speak, got off their bottoms and started to stand again, so to speak. So yeah, there is chat and, you know, thinking about it, whether or not we have seen the end of the rot, so to speak, and whether the market is now sort of bouncing back. Again, I can't help but think that we're hoping that the Fed won't be that aggressive, because at the end of the day, the inflation is still very much in focus. Okay, very much in focus. So, and it's not going anywhere. You know, we have got extremely high inflation with this oil and this meeting in the EU. I can't see inflation disappearing, so to speak. It's very, very much in focus in the market. In fact, we have the German CPI today, which is expected at 8%. So despite this hope, we still have this fear of inflation, and it's still very, very dominating us, or dominating the market. So it's not going anywhere. But for now, there's a little bit of hope. So have we reached the bottom? I'm not convinced personally, but that's just my opinion. How the market is looking today in general, FTSE is currently up by 0.23%, DAX up by 0.68%, and Eurostock up about 50%, 0.50%. So there is still a bit of bullish momentum in the market. Don't forget today, though, unfortunately, it's Memorial Day. Not unfortunately, it's Memorial Day in the United States. So the US market will not be open. So it's going to be a slightly quieter day in the market. But we've got a big week ahead of us. We have US ADP, US ISM manufacturing PMI, NFP, of course, and average earnings and US unemployment, which is at the end of the week. I will be doing a watch along for that. So please come and join me. So yeah, I will be going live at 4 p.m. at 1 p.m. UTC again. Not for the US session because it's not opening, but we'll discuss some key events and at the same time have a look at that German inflation report as well and see how the market reacts to that. So yeah, please join me at 1 p.m. UTC for, like, you know, afternoon session, because there'll still be plenty to talk about. Plus, we might have some developments from this EU summit as well might come out. So we will have a look at that. For now, don't forget, you can ask me questions whenever you wish. I am online, so please ask me questions. I like to interact, obviously. But for now, there's no questions, so that's not a problem. Hopefully, I'll see you again later this afternoon. But remember, if you're watching me on Facebook and you like it, give me a follow. If you're watching me on YouTube and you like it, subscribe if you want. You know, hit the notification so you know next time I'm going live. If you found this little video insightful and educational, by all means, give me one of those. It will make me happy. But on that point, you know, remember, these little videos are for educational purposes only, and in no way whatsoever should ever be taken as advice. I always suggest you do your own research and do your own due diligence, and of course, know the risks at hand before entering any trade. Till next time, or till later this afternoon, every single one of you, trade safe.